What's up, everybody?
Hey. I'm not messing around on the phone. I don't need to get the union called on me.
Yeah. What are you doing? Not messing around on the phone.
I'm not messing around on the phone at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So, welcome to In the Garage. That thing's not supposed to be playing. I gotta fix this.
Welcome back to In the Garage. As you guys can tell from what's going on in the background, obviously today we're going to talk about some shenanigans some shenanigans.
Some bold shed.
Yeah.
Sick of your shed.
You are. We're like modern moonshiners, y'all. You don't understand. See, we're hiding from the law right in plain sight.
Are we?
Appliances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we just built a shed to put our appliances in. I don't know how that's hiding from the law.
That doesn't sound as cool as hiding from the law.
Anyways, this is In the Garage. We're trying something new this time. We got this thing up here. We could put all the stuff behind us. We got the floating words there.
Hopefully you all see this on the other side as cool and not spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so? Just because we're like chilling?
Bunch of floating half bodies.
Anyway, so what we did is I was gonna buy a carport. So the Suburban's transmission died. I guess we should talk about that.
It just showed up one day, didn't want to work.
And so this episode we were gonna show us rebuilding it, but my dad is sick, so Richard's not here. So what we decided to do instead was to do this.
Hey Heather, welcome to the show. Welcome to In the Garage.
Yeah. So today, what we have is the Suburban died, and so we had to build the shed to put all the appliances in, so that we could put the Suburban in the garage to work on. Wow. We have like a air-conditioned, a heated garage. And we like store all these old broken appliances in it.
Deluxe conditions for them. No rust.
Everything else gets out in the rain.
Yeah.
We can try to fix
outside
and sell appliances. So anyways, that's what this is. Now we have what we did is we built a storage for our appliances to go into, so that we can use the garage to like fix cars in, like it's supposed to be. So
I kind of think it sounds cooler to be an outlaw, an appliance outlaw, man.
Are you an appliance outlaw?
I'm an appliance outlaw, man.
Outlaw appliances?
Yeah.
That's what our reality TV show is going to be called if we ever...
I mean, you're the guru.
Today on Outlaw Appliances, will Tyler fuck up again?
Dang straight.
Yes, he will.
Like stick my hand up there in an element, zap.
What spinning thing will Tyler stick his fingers into this time?
All of them. That's what I do.
Yeah, and yet you still have them.
Unfortunately, I am 10 Fingers Tyler. It's just, that's how it's going to be. I ain't losing them. I've had fireworks blow up in my hands before from not being very smart when I was alone messing around with fireworks.
Yeah.
Like some of these stories I don't tell people because I don't want y'all to think I'm retarded. But like I've had it like blow up where my whole hand just rang and shook and hurt. Like I was like, dang, I should have lost all my fingers on that one.
But you didn't.
But I did not.
Somehow.
I still have a big old bag of fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Mama Matters. Hey, Dad. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah. I think he's feeling better, but he said if he was still coughing, he wasn't going to come over, so he didn't just spread it all around. He said he got the Fauci flu. Well, maybe. Or if he did, he didn't want to spread it. That's what he said.
I don't know what the Fauci flu is, but I'm glad you kept it to yourself because I already work.
You don't know what the Fauci flu is?
I don't know what the Fauci flu is.
It's the Rona.
Oh, the Rona's out? Oh, yeah, because that guy made it, huh?
Well, yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah.
All the above.
He might have funded it.
Hey, all I'm saying is it was printed on cans of Lysol before it rolled out. Just got to say that.
Yeah, well, the coronavirus has been around for a long time.
I get that, but Lysol been like
but
ready to
SARS-CoV-19 or whatever, that's the new thing. It's a new strain of the COVID virus, right?
Yeah.
So that's what but the reason there's a new strain is because, allegedly, it looks like what they did is they just like repeatedly bred it into mice, and then they took the worst strain.
Right.
You know, then they bred it into they gave it to mice. Then they took all the ones that had the worst symptoms,
And then got their cousins.
and then
involved.
they spread that disease around, then the worst symptoms, and repeat. Anyways, I don't know why we're talking about the Rona again.
I know. Let's talk about this shed. Look
All
at
right,
this.
here, I'll push play on this video.
We even got a union rep on there. Look at that. Got
Yeah.
a union rep on the scene.
Who's that, Declan?
Declan.
Yeah.
He's gonna make sure I ain't getting abused.
He doesn't do a very good job of that. So the first thing we did is we went and bought a bunch of 2x4s. And this is like, we didn't film the beginning of this. Obviously, we're already well into this.
Yeah, we're well into it.
We didn't.
25
I wasn't
minutes.
even gonna film it, and then
Right.
Tyler was like, "Should we be filming this?" And I was like, "Do you think anybody really is gonna watch us build a shed on YouTube?"
I think so. I think the whole planet needs to watch how rednecks do things. Well, a redneck and a guru.
So I was gonna get a carport, you know, like one of those like metal ones,
That
but
cost a couple $100 bones.
yeah, but I started looking at them, and I'm like, "This is like $400 for this thing," and what is it? It's like cheap tarp and like cheap metal, probably. It's just gonna get wasted anyway. So then I started doing the math, and I was like, well, I could get 2x4s cheaper than this.
Yes, you did.
The whole thing ended up being like $250.
And hand drawn on a napkin on top of a dryer.
Was it even a napkin? So I mean, we drew a couple things, and then we didn't follow that at all.
Not
But
even
anyways,
close.
yeah. So we got some 10-foot 2x4s and some 8-foot 2x4s.
Yeah, right now we're building it to the max. Right now we're building
Yeah.
it to the max. Good thing we
Right.
have the supervisor on site because he's like, dang, that's tall.
Yeah. So we built these two walls, and
Right
then
there. Rewind a little
we
bit.
put them up. What do you mean?
Rewind just a titch.
I don't know if
Okay,
I
just
can.
play now. Look, right here. Stop. Right there. That is the first time you said. That's
That's
10
when I'm
feet."
looking at it, and I'm like, this is way too tall.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying right now. You,
Yeah.
you're like, man,
Like this is not gonna work.
it's gonna be so
Way
tall. How
too
are we gonna
tall.
get our hands up there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have to we got to wrap this thing in a tarp too.
Right.
So the taller it is, the more tarp I have to buy, and I'm trying to get this thing like to be as cheap as possible, which I think we accomplished. I think the whole thing was like $250. This is where we're talking about it, and you're like, I don't want to cut them, and I'm like, we gotta cut them.
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta shorten this.
Yeah,
You're
see,
like,
'cause,
oh,
I
I'm
just reached
working
up
all
and was,
day.
like, grabbing it.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, it's tall enough.
You're grabbing it.
I didn't
too.
edit this very well either.
Yeah, and then the boys are like, why are you guys making it so tall?
Yeah, so take the walls back down because they're too tall. So today is tomorrow. This is another day.
Day 2, we got tired.
Yeah, we gave up. We'll pull out the wrong tool for the job. Tyler, for some reason, has my skid plate and says some things. Do you remember what you said there?
I was talking to...
Some words of encouragement.
Yeah, words of encouragement, but I thought we were going to put the saw on it and cut the wood on it.
Why?
I thought
Now
for
maybe
some
that
reason
would be
thought,
a good table.
Yeah, I thought it would be a good table. I didn't think you wanted to cut in the rocks. Like, I thought you were talking about how you wanted to make sure it could be really level. And I was like, look, if we put the saw on this, then it could work. And you're like, no.
Yeah,
Watch.
I was like, we're just gonna use this chop
Yeah,
saw.
we're just gonna put it on the ground
Well,
right
it
here.
makes its own square. It has its own like little base plate thing. You know
Right.
what I mean?
And then we measured, so you start
Yeah.
measuring again.
Yeah. So I actually measured these out so that hopefully it would be the right way, which it wasn't. Of course, it still wasn't, because then we got a slope to the gravel too. Can't really see that, but it slopes down to the right there. So we basically just go through and cut them all out and shorten them up.
Yeah, chop, chop, chop.
I don't remember how long we ended up being. Like if we
6
went
feet.
to 8 feet or 6 feet.
Yeah, we went from 10 feet to 8 feet to 6 feet.
I think we only went to 8 feet. So we don't cut them again. So then we got to take the screws out that we already put in, and then screw
'em
that
back in.
Yeah, that header board or whatever, the header board back to him. Which
There was quite a bit of words of encouragement here too, especially with all the tape measuring going on.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is like when I was like trying to really talk you out of doing appliances, but
And
for some reason you just want to hold on to that
I
thing.
can't let go. It's like I have appliance.
You just
I'm the
want to be an
outlaw.
appliance man. You want to be an outlaw appliance man.
Outlaw.
The outlaw. So then we got to cut the other wall, so we measure it.
Measure it and mark it.
We should probably cut it with the circular saw, but instead we just like fumble through. So if you can see, I'm putting that chop saw in between, like, yeah.
You have to pick up the board.
I guess it worked, though. I figured it out. Use a chop saw like a circular saw.
Look at that big old box of screws right there. I got to point this thing out. That's 40 pounds of screws right there.
Yeah, well, everything is getting more and more expensive.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? If I buy 1 million screws, then maybe I won't ever be down here paying $20 for a box of 50 screws.
Right.
I'm just going to pay 50 for, I don't know, 1,000 screws or whatever that is. Maybe that box will last me my whole lifetime. You know, I need to start thinking out in the future because inflation is so crazy that, yeah. So Maddie says, what's wrong with it being that tall? Well, it's more tarp.
Yeah, and plus this is what's wrong with it right here. This part where we actually have to physically do it. Because
yeah, we only want it to be as tall as it needs to be. So,
but then we can't reach up there either to complete the job.
It's still too tall. It could be shorter than it is. I mean, all we do is put in washers and dryers. Like how tall? It only needs to be tall enough for us to like
that we
walk
could
in.
double stack
you know?
washers and dryers.
Yeah, we
in there.
probably could.
Yeah.
So here's where we kind of braced it up with these boards on the sides, and then we're just putting like these sort of roof boards on.
Yeah,
or whatever.
the rafters, I guess they would be called.
Yeah. So look, we made like one of those cheap carports.
Boom, right there. Half
For
of it's
cheap.
done with no instructions. No idiot sheet to make any of us mad. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure they write those and they just like, see, look, there's the union supervisor. He's back. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I could tell there was
It's
some
like
abuse
this isn't
going
up to
on.
code and this isn't up to code and Tyler fucked that up and you should do that over there. And then he's got to plug his ears
Plug his
because
ears, so
we're
using
cutting.
a saw.
So I mean, we didn't like do it the way you would normally do a wall or anything. We just are screwing 2x4s together. As cheap as and fast as possible carport. Like Dad went away. Where did he go? To Colorado or
Yeah, I went
something?
to go film a boat show.
And then we did this while he was gone. I think he really thought when he got back we would have that transmission pulled out.
I know, he's like, man, I thought
He's
you
like,
guys were gonna
man,
get that done.
you guys didn't do this while I was gone?
You guys built a shed instead? What the heck? He's probably like, why don't you just put him on the side and put a tarp on him? That's what you guys did.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we did. Except now, going forward, we don't have to put them in the garage. We can just store them out there. It's working really well.
Work out there too, even.
Yeah, well, it does get hot in that thing.
Sweltering hot.
So what we're doing right now is we're bracing. Oh, wait, no, not yet. See how like flexible everything is? It doesn't get any better. It like stays that sloppy. They look at we're moving like the whole thing. It's just like all tips back and forth.
You even just said that.
Yeah.
You're like, look, it's still wiggly.
So wiggly. So what we ended up doing is getting, yeah, see, no, you just did it. You did the wiggle. We ended up getting some, like bracing. It was a good thing that we shortened it because we were able to get those cutoff pieces
To brace it up, yeah.
and then put some 45s in them to make it like strong. So, yeah, see, Tyler's
Well, yeah, this is
putting
the
one right
45
there.
talk that we're having right here. And then
Yeah. So do you think it's better than one of those carports?
I actually do, because it's already been through so many storms, right? Like the mini Utah hurricane or whatever they called it.
I don't know. I don't know.
And it didn't blow up over your house. And I did watch another one do that. So I kind of think maybe it's built better. Like it deflects the wind better instead of catching it like a parachute.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
I don't know. The where it is, it's in between two houses, so it doesn't get a lot of wind over there, which is probably why we should move that freaking wind turbine.
Put the wind turbine in the most safe spot.
Yeah, we put it in the spot with the least amount of wind, which we're probably gonna have to redesign that thing. No, I don't know. Anyways, we put We put this thing on wrong first, and then we put it on right.
Yeah, I messed up the first time because I told him to do it this way, and then
Yeah, because the other way, I don't think it would have been.
see, that's what he says. Then he's like, "Here, look, see, it's
Yeah.
stronger. Your way's stupid. My way's better."
Well, it's actually like doing something,
Hey,
you know.
I can't. I look.
The
proof is in
screws
the
isn't
pudding.
going to shear off.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah,
The screws don't really have any shear strength.
my understanding about how we were going to attach the tarp was a little bit different. That's why I thought they would be better on the outside. But then after you explained how you wanted the door to work, then I was like, oh yeah, your idea is way better.
Yeah.
Because again, guys, I don't know if you could tell, but we on the napkin, which disappeared by the way, and then we
Yeah.
had 3 different tarp sizes still,
Well, yeah.
and a theory, not a working.
Well,
model
you had a
yet.
tarp, and you had a napkin, and I had a napkin.
Yes.
And then I had whatever was in my head, and then I just wing it anyways. This is just how I do things. I'll just start with a plan, a general plan, and then just like change and
Make it
change and
happen.
change and change and change. So now we got the bracing, so now it's, a lot stronger. It's not gonna like fall over.
Yeah. See, wiggle test, wiggle test.
I think we braced the bottom too, but we didn't film it. For some reason, we just left the camera wherever it was and didn't like frame it. Or didn't talk about it
I only had enough focus energy,
to get it done.
Yeah, and
See right there, I'm screwing screws into. Oh no, I do that for that one. So
Right.
we do it the other way too. So we got it braced both ways.
yeah.
Guess you got to get those triangles in. That's what makes everything stiff. But the other issue is I don't know if the camera overheated or what, but in a minute here we're gonna lose. We lost the footage of where we wrapped it, or we didn't
really?
film it. I don't know.
I thought we were trying to film it, but we probably lost it because it was hot.
See, look. So now it's just the
Poof,
the
magic.
tarps on it. Yeah. So I don't know. I think the camera overheated. I don't know what happened, but we don't have the video of that. But this is basically all we did was just put a tarp around it. I mean, I don't know how
And
much.
start screwing it. But look at how good that's looking, man. Ain't that like KFC good?
Yeah, is that still better or worse than a carport? And I mean, it's not perfect. Like it leaks a little in some places, but I think it does a pretty good job of keeping like the weather away from the appliances.
At least the raccoons.
Yeah, I haven't seen any critters in there yet. So
No way. I definitely make sure we urinate on it quite regularly so that they don't go in there.
then we put this on the back. This is the back looking forward. And that's right where we have our wind turbine too.
Right next to the back of it.
Basically where you're standing right there. But we screw the tarp to that, and then
I wonder if we should put heat coils, like to heat water up in there and do like a thermal generator.
yeah, maybe. I
Like,
mean,
think
I need to
about
do
that.
that. No, I just want to build one of those anyways, just to get my gas bill lower. Because it's like, even in the summer, it's not that much money. It's only like $40,
Right.
But it's still freaking annoying. The utilities are out of control.
But if you look at how much heat that would catch. I mean,
Yeah.
it's sweltering in there. I know you've
Yeah,
been in there.
it was hot in there that day. It's not too bad. It hasn't been too bad lately, but like, cause it was like over 90 when
Right.
we were out there working. Because this was like a couple months ago.
Look at how nice that looks, though. It like
Yeah.
trims
so,
up real good.
So I think that's at least as good as a carport, but
Right.
cheaper.
Yeah. And you don't got to go to Costco and lift up a 80, 100-pound box. Like, granted, you
Yeah.
have some 2x4s to deal with, but like, trying to deal with one of those boxes alone, I think that's like half the struggle with them is where to position the box. At least when you crack one open, you're like, where do we put this box? Like,
Yeah.
man, move it over here. And then it's all jacked up and you can't move your parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are not fun to deal with. But I don't know if they make them as good as they used to.
I don't think so. I think they're pretty chintzy now.
Yeah.
That's like an unracist word, isn't it? Chintzy?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
I'm not really sure what is or isn't offensive anymore.
I have no idea. I'm I'm the appliance outlaw.
You're the appliance outlaw. So anyways, I don't know. We're screwing something into the bottom there. We just put like screws through washers and just put them through the eyelets.
Yeah, we had to measure how far down we wanted it to go. This is where you like tuck it up so you can fold it just right so it doesn't rub on the ground too much.
Yeah.
And then small children start poking it.
So Milo can go through it. So we got this expensive tarp for the front, and it's like a canvas, like a wax coated canvas, so it's waterproof, but
it also weighs 100 pounds.
Yeah, so this is going to be the door. And so what we do is we just like, and also the camera overheated right here. And I know it overheated because we were standing over there. We didn't go stop it in the edit, but this is pretty much the end of the video, and it doesn't show us screwing in the rest of it. That's it. So anyways, yeah, so that's it for the video. But we just put that tarp there, that brown tarp. Basically what we did is just screwed it up there, and then we just throw it on top every day as we're working. Pull the appliances out and, work on them or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes take refuge in there.
Yeah, is that what you do? You've been living in there?
I can't admit that because you'll charge rent.
Yeah, well, I mean, what do you expect?
Miser.
Anyways, so now I guess we got to go get ready for karaoke.
Thanks for tuning in the garage, guys.
Yeah.
If you need one of these sheds, we're selling them for $850.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're thinking about getting one of those carports and you've watched this whole thing, it's not a bad option. It's a lot cheaper.
Right.
I think we're around 250, something like that. But
plus, it's way easier to take down. I feel like this is like way easier to take down and put somewhere than a big old box where the poles and pipes that are gonna get spiders in them.
Just 2x4s. I don't know. There's probably advantages to both.
Right.
But whatever. Here it is.
Throw the tarps in the blue bin. Burn the 2x4s when it's cold.
Yep. All right. Well, come back for the karaoke. We'll be back in a minute.
Come on back.